More than 100 years later, 12 days of death and blood from a killer shark's carnage still haunt the waters of the New Jersey coast. 1916, the Jersey Shore shark attacks. Within 12 days, 5 shark attacks left 4 dead and 1 maimed, the most notorious and frightening shark attacks in American history. 1916's 4 fatalities still scar the Jersey Shore. However, the 5th, and only other shark-inflicted death throughout New Jersey history, has nearly been forgotten in 1916's wake, but in fact, it was just as terrifying. In August of 1926, Charles Burke was brutally attacked and killed by a shark under mysterious circumstances in the surf of Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Although the 1926 fatal attack has nearly been forgotten, great whites, tiger sharks, and bull sharks, the man-eaters, remain close to shore. Further, a shark attack in 1917 at Seabright, New Jersey is evidence that the 1960s man-eater may not have been killed in July of 1916 as commonly believed. And the question remains, was Burke's 1926 killer shark involved in any of the tragic shark attacks of 16 or 17? It is more than possible.
There was also the question of how to spend your spare time outdoors. The seashore was not a bad place to go if you didn't mind getting slapped in the face by the ocean. Even if you did, there were compensations.
Beach towns have always been vacation spots. Prior to the second decade of the 20th century, most people who vacationed by the seaside confined themselves to boardwalks, shopping, and sunbathing. Few did more than dip their feet in the water. By 1916, however, swimming in the ocean was the latest craze. The number of beachgoers was on the rise from the recent spike in leisure time due to the country's prosperity and shorter work hours. The Jersey Shore had become a favorite vacation destination for the metropolitan areas of New York City, Philadelphia, and all areas in between. An unprecedented heat wave enveloped the East Coast during the summer of 1916. Droves of people flocked to the shore for a reprieve from the sweltering heat. Little did they know, a man-eating monster was lurking along the coast, awaiting their arrival. The terror that would descend on the Jersey Shore between July 1st and July 12th would become legendary and serve as horrific inspiration for the movie Jaws and others. Fatal attack number 1. July 1st, 1916. The scene was Beach Haven, New Jersey, a small resort town at the southernmost point of Long Beach Island. Charles Van Sant, age 28, a financial broker from Philadelphia, was at the Ingleside Hotel with his family. Van Sant hit the beach that evening for a swim with his Chesapeake Retriever. Minutes later, he began shouting. A shark had struck Van Sant's legs. He was rescued by a lifeguard and a beachgoer, but it was too late. Van Sant, whose left thigh was stripped to the bone, bled to death shortly after the attack, before life-saving medical treatment could be administered. The public's reaction was dismissive and failed to faze vacationers from entering the ocean. Sharks were believed to be harmless to humans at that time. Most believed the Beach Haven attack was an anomaly, and perhaps Van Sant's dog was the intended target. The public would soon learn that this was not the case. Fatal attack number 2. July 6th, 1916. The scene was Spring Lake, New Jersey, a beach town 45 miles north of Beach Haven. Charles Bruder, age 27, employee of the beachside Essex and Sussex Hotel, was viciously attacked by a shark while swimming 130 yards offshore. Bruder screamed. The water turned red. Lifeguards hurried to Bruder in a lifeboat. As they pulled Bruder from the water, he felt lighter than expected. The lifeguards quickly realized the horror that had been inflicted upon him. Bruder's legs had been devoured below the knees, and his abdomen had been severely injured by a shark. Was it the Beach Haven shark? Was it another shark? Regardless, shark hysteria descended upon the nation for the first time. Fatal attacks 3 and 4. July 12th, 1916. The scene was Matawan Creek, New Jersey, which drains into the Raritan Bay 30 miles north of Spring Lake. As a dark cloud of terror engulfed the Jersey Shore, the third and fourth deadly attacks came 6 days later in a most unexpected location. fresh water. The thought of man-eating sharks was a new fear for the nation and New Jersey, but the notion of sharks entering, let alone attacking humans in fresh water, was unthinkable. Consequently, when a resident who was fishing from this bridge across the Matawan Creek claimed he saw the silhouette of an 8-foot-long shark pass below, his claim was dismissed. A group of children were playing 11 miles upstream in Matawan Creek during the afternoon of the 12th. Soon, the black silhouette seen earlier reappeared within the sight of the boys. Then, a dorsal fin rose from the creek and quickly pulled Lester Stillwell, age 11, underwater as the boys were racing to the bank. Businessman Watson Fisher, age 24, ran to the scene after the boys had raced to town for help. Fisher dove into the creek and quickly found Stillwell. He began to carry Stillwell's motionless body to shore when the shark tore into Fisher, right in front of the crowd that had gathered on the bank. Fisher dropped Stillwell's body, and by the time Fisher reached the bank, his right thigh had been severely shredded from the attack. Fisher bled to death that evening. Stillwell's body was found the next day. Attack number 5, July 12th, 1916. The scene was yet again Matawan Creek. On the same day as fatalities 3 and 4, Joseph Dunn, aged 14, was also attacked by a shark while swimming a half-mile away from Stillwell and Fisher. He sustained damage to his left leg. The attack came within 30 minutes of the shark's 3rd and 4th fatal attacks. The hunt for the killer. Residents, the media, and society at large soon descended on Matawan to search and destroy the New Jersey man-eater. Nets, guns, dynamite, and harpoons were employed by a mob of fearful citizens to kill the culprit. Some even hunted sharks from airplanes. Sharks, which were once thought to be harmless, were now hated killers and quickly became public enemy number 1. A nearly 8-foot, 325-pound great white shark was caught by a fisherman in Raritan Bay near the mouth of Matawan Creek on July 16th. The shark had attacked his boat, and the fisherman killed it with an oar. The shark's stomach was cut open, and human remains were found within. No further attacks occurred along the Jersey shore in the summer of 1916, after the great white's capture. The case was considered closed. Solved. Or was it? Because no more attacks took place in 1916, it was widely believed that the great white was the sole killer. The problem with that theory is that great whites are not known to travel far into freshwater, if at all. Even though a minority of biologists argue a small great white could survive within the salinity of Matawan Creek where the attacks took place, they certainly avoid brackish water. Consequently, theories have emerged which assert that more than one shark was involved in the 1916 attacks. Another suspect for the Matawan Creek terror has emerged due to its ability to thrive in fresh water: the bull shark, another known man-eater. The best evidence for the multiple shark theory is perhaps the attacks of 1917 and 1926, particularly the 1926 attack. Shark Attack 6. September 21st, 1917. The scene was Seabright, New Jersey, just 1 year after the most infamous series of shark attacks in American history. Seabright was a Jersey Shore beach town located in between Matawan Creek and Spring Lake. Captain Newman, the head lifeguard of the Seabright Beach Club, was scanning the area and overseeing 3 lifeguards who were retrieving an empty booze barrel from the surf. This certainly was an infrequent occurrence because New Jersey prohibited alcohol at the time. Suddenly, the captain noticed a shark's dorsal fin appear in the water not far from the lifeguards. Newman yelled for the lifeguards to rush to shore. The shark was seen following the 3 as they headed towards the beach. The surf was rough, and lifeguard Daniel Thompson had difficulty riding the waves to shore and lagged behind the others. The shark reportedly struck Thompson's knee with its dorsal fin as Thompson fled. It may have been a bite. Thompson made it to shore where physicians were able to save his limb. The shark was never found or identified. This raises the question, was this shark one of the 1916 man-eaters? Importantly, it must be noted sharks can live for as long as 70 years, and just 1 decade later, another man-eater would return to the Jersey Shore. Fatal Attack 5, August 23rd, 1926. The scene was Seaside Heights, New Jersey. This killer came during the height of the Roaring Twenties. The United States had experienced unrivaled prosperity after World War I. The country was also rapidly experiencing numerous technological advancements that were ushering in the modern age. Automobiles, radio, and motion pictures had quickly become the norm. Americans were wealthier and worked less hours than ever before, and enthusiasm had emerged within the United States, the polar opposite of the dark times during World War I. Vacations at the seashore were at an all-time high. By 1926, the carnage of the 1916 man-eater, or man-eaters, had nearly been forgotten, or blocked from people's minds as they ventured to the Jersey Shore in countless numbers to sunbathe, relax, frolic on the beach, and swim in the waves. While the ritual vacationing at the Jersey Shore was in full swing during the heat of the summer of that year, a man-eating shark was lurking. Seaside Heights, New Jersey was a popular resort destination much like Beach Haven. It was only 15 miles from both Spring Lake and Seabright. Seaside was known for its beautiful beach, boardwalk, amusement piers, shops, and restaurants. The main attraction, of course, was the ocean itself, which the crowds enjoyed until August 23rd of that year. On that date, Charles Burke, aged 18 from Trenton, New Jersey, was visiting Seaside Heights with his family and friends. The day was hot and the ocean breeze was calm. Charles and two of his friends, Endel Fenton and Edgar Burkett, who were on the beach north of the carousel, went for a swim in the choppy surf. Due to undertow and the surf conditions, the lifeguard called to the three young men for them to come closer to shore. Fenton and Burkett quickly made it in. Burke, however, who lagged behind, began to scream and thrash. Fenton quickly went out to Burke to help. Fenton grabbed Burke by the arm and noticed panic and terror in Burke's face. What Fenton described as a large fish, and is believed to be a shark, latched onto Burke and pulled him under. Burke disappeared into the ocean. Lifeguards quickly rushed to their lifeboat and attempted to find Burke in the surf. The Coast Guard and more lifeguards searched for Burke until sunset. The search was called off. 3 sharks had been seen in the area on the same day, but there was no sign of Burke. On the following day, Burke's decapitated and limbless body washed up on shore, confirming that Burke was a victim of a shark attack. According to reports, the coroner, however, listed the cause of death as drowning to downplay the possibility that a verified shark attack would spread terror and dampen local tourism. Nonetheless, the coroner did not deny that Burke's body had been attacked by sharks. A shark was never captured or identified as the man-eater. Due to the death certificate, some remain adamant it was just a drowning. However, eyewitnesses and the evidence show it was a Jersey Shore man-eater. In addition to the 3 sharks seen on the day of the attack, there were several other shark sightings around the time of Burke's death. Unidentified sharks were seen and caught by fishermen earlier in July that year in the Delaware Bay near the New Jersey coast. 25 hammerhead sharks were caught by fishermen on July 31st, 1926, near Matawan, New Jersey. Shortly after Burke's attack, on September 3rd, 1926, it was reported that numerous sharks were seen near Seaside Heights in Seabright, New Jersey. They were described to be frolicking by news reports. This is behavior more akin to porpoises, or perhaps hammerheads, who swim in schools. However, even if they were porpoises, they may have been attempting to evade sharks themselves. Finally, on September 25th, 1926, in Ocean City, Maryland, somewhat south of New Jersey, a 14-foot shark was seen close to the shore. So what species of shark, or sharks, were likely responsible for the terror of 1916, 17, and 26? Sharks are apex predators, designed to inflict vicious death on their prey. There are more than 350 different species of shark, but only a few can be considered man-killers. 3 species stand out as the most notorious and most likely suspects. The great white. Just the words great white shark send a chill through many, likely because it is well known as being responsible for more attacks on humans than all other species by far. It is one of the most powerful and most dangerous predators in the ocean. Great whites can grow as large as 21 feet and weigh as much as 3 tons. They can swim as fast as 16 miles per hour and to depths of nearly 4,000 feet. 85% of their bodies are pure muscle. Their 300 teeth are serrated and razor sharp, designed to slice and tear through flesh with a force of 4,000 pounds per square inch. The tiger shark. Tiger sharks are second in the number of human attacks and fatalities. These attacks have most often occurred where a large number of people congregate, particularly resort-side beaches. The vertical bars seen on the tiger shark give it its name, and at lengths as great as 18 feet, it is the 4th largest shark and 2nd largest predatory shark in the ocean. A full-grown tiger shark can weigh as much as 2,000 pounds. The bull shark. The 3rd most deadly shark is the bull shark. The aggressive bull shark is the only man-eating shark known to be able to live in both fresh and salt water. It has even been found as far as 500 miles up the Mississippi River in Illinois. It is called a bull shark because of its stocky body, wide blunt snout, and its aggressive nature. It can grow as large as 11 feet and weigh as much as 500 pounds. Because bull sharks thrive in fresh water, it is likely a bull shark may have played a role in the Matawan Creek attacks. There are usually only 1 to 2 shark fatalities per year in the United States, out of approximately nearly 20 unprovoked shark attacks. Attacks occur almost in every coastal state, but none stand out like those in New Jersey from 1916 through 1926. Since that time, there have only been 10 non-fatal, unprovoked shark attacks in New Jersey in almost 100 years. But there may, someday, be another shark rampage in New Jersey or somewhere else. Evidence suggests shark attacks are on the rise. The 2 weeks in July of 1916 will never be forgotten. The tragedy is legendary. New Jersey's second man-eater and the victims of 1917 and 1926 should never be forgotten as well. Possibly, the killers from all 3 years may have been one and the same. Beachgoing will certainly continue to be a very popular pastime, but remember, sharks patrol the waters.